guys, welcome back to Read No Grow. It's been a while, but I'm hoping that I'm going to be a bit more consistent now. I moved flats and life just kind of got in the way, so back on it. So I reread a book that I read ages ago and I really like it because it's just a small book and it is The Alchemist. So loads of people recommended this to me beforehand. There's just a lot of lessons in this book. This is probably like the second time I've read it and I feel like I got a lot more from it the second time. And I feel like it's one of those books where you can just revisit because it doesn't take too long. Basically the story is about a young shepherd boy called Santiago who on his journey for his quest to find his treasure and his purpose and like follow his dreams, he meets a few interesting characters along the way who give him valuable lessons. I just think it's a great book to recommend to people, so I'm going to give you like a little brief synopsis on some of the lessons that I really took from it. Anyone who you ask about will get different lessons from this book, and there's so many in here that I can't actually cover them all, but I'm going to just go over a few of the ones that resonated with me. So let's get stuck in. And the first lesson that I'm going to talk about is the fear of failure, which to be honest is probably the main thing that stops us from pursuing anything that we've had our heart's desire on. We are afraid that it will look stupid or it won't work out, and sometimes maybe we just think there's just so much effort in doing it that maybe what's the point? And there's so many like great quotes in this book, and the one that I linked to the fear of failure is this one. If a person is living out his destiny, he knows everything he needs to know. There's only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. And quite early on in the book, one of the characters that Santiago meets talks about how when we're younger, we seem to have this limitless concept of time, and we don't really care about judgment because maybe we've not really experienced that judgment. We've still kind of got this barrier about other people's opinions and what they think of us. We're just a bit cavalier and open to trying new things. And there's a lot of reference to destiny and like how we kind of know what we want to do maybe when we're younger, and obstacles kind of maybe get in our way, or people's thoughts and opinions get in our way, or society's kind of perception of what we should do gets in our way, and a lot of us maybe veer off the path of what we truly want to do. There's another little like nugget of wisdom that I like from the book that one of the characters mentions to Santiago, and it's at that point in their lives everything is clear and everything is possible. They are not afraid to dream and to yearn for everything they would like to see happen to them in their lives. But as time passes, a mysterious force begins to convince them that it will be impossible for them to realize their destiny. And that's kind of referring to how we feel like when we're younger and how time passes and we kind of get almost afraid to like follow our destiny, follow our dreams. And there's like a lot of references to following your heart, following your destiny, following your true passions, your true goals. There's a lot of references to the soul of the world. Could be conceived as maybe this kind of force like pulling you forward to where you want to be. There's quite a lot of references to God, and like that God is maybe the soul of the world as well. So I think it's kind of like open to like what you want to interpret, if you feel like that's the universe telling you something, or if that's like more of a spiritual kind of being telling or propelling you forward to your goals. But I feel like the references to the heart are quite like, because it makes you really think like, am I listening to my heart? Am I really following what I want to do? I feel like you finish this book thinking like, am I actually doing what I'm meant to? Am I content? And there's a lot of reference to like your heart actually kind of speaking to you, and if you don't listen to it, it won't let up. It will keep sort of like trying to like be louder, trying to get you to listen. If you don't listen, the heart really suffers. Maybe that's when you get more anxious or depressed, or you just get angry with people because you're not actually doing what you're meant to be doing, and you get like irritated. And maybe that's when you stop seeing like the kind of like the good in things, like the good in the days and things, because you're not really like doing what you're meant to be doing. So there's a lot of references to your heart can suffer if you don't do what you're meant to be doing, and that might be, you might be quite content, you might be exactly where you want to be, you might be really content in the job you're in and like really happy. It doesn't mean you have to do something extravagant, but it's just being able to like tune in and like listen to like what your heart wants, and are you on that right path, on that right journey? And it could be something, I guess, simple, like are you in the right job that you're meant to be in? Are you with the right person you're meant to be in? It doesn't have to maybe all be about like your dreams. It could just be like, what are you in the right place where you're meant to be? So that's kind of like lesson one, like fear of failing, following your heart kind of thing, which is like quite a lot of what the book's about. Actually starting that journey, actually going for that pursuit, just like Santiago's trying to find his treasure in the story. And lesson 3 is about not giving up and having like a positive mindset, especially when you are on your quest to achieve your dream. There are so many obstacles that can be in your way. Reframing and having like a curious mindset can help you to overcome obstacles. There's a point in the book where Santiago's had some real hardship and is just feeling really down and is in a strange place and is quite scared, and something bad's happened to him and he's feeling very much a victim at this point. But then he kind of reassesses and thinks, okay, this isn't a strange place, this is just a new place I'm in. And he sort of thought to himself, well, I could be a victim here, or I could be an adventurer on a quest for my treasure, and I'm gonna choose to be an adventurer on a quest for my treasure. So he made like a mental choice and like flip the switch, reframe the situation. So instead of being a strange place and a victim, he was an adventurer looking for treasure. And in any endeavor we have, if we're gonna do something new, if we're gonna learn a new skill, if we're going to join a new class, if we're going to start a new job, if we're going to meet someone new, there could always be something that could put you off from making those steps. You know, you could be like, oh, but what if I don't meet anyone if I join a club? But then also, what if you could meet your best friend joining that club? Or like if you start a new job, what if I look really stupid? Or you can flip and be like, well, what if I learn a lot of things, and what if that is my stepping stone to progressing, getting a promotion? So with Santiago, he tried to sort of see the opportunity in the obstacle and see the lesson through the pain. So something went wrong, he's just tried to build up resilience. There's so many things that can go wrong in anything that we do. Say we are trying to get a new job, we've had several interviews and nothing's really come of it, but every time we've done that interview, we've got better at speaking in front of people, or preparing our CV, or answering questions for the job that actually in the end really suited us. So it's just trying to like flip that switch. Lesson number 4. So a big thing about this book, I think, is the journey is more important than the destination. So the book's called The Alchemist. So in alchemy, you are trying to turn gold from lead. And there's like a lot of references to like the lessons that we've learned, and the treasure at the end, or the gold, is not actually the thing that's most of value. It's the learning involved to get to that point. If Santiago never started this journey, he would have never gained all that knowledge and wisdom from all the people that he met. And the book just really hammers home that point, that it's about the journey and not the destination. And in the book, he talks to alchemists, and Santiago questions like, why do so many people fail to become an alchemist? And the alchemist says, they were looking only for gold. They were seeking the treasure for their destiny without wanting to actually live out the destiny, which kind of sums up the journey is more valuable than the destination. And lesson number 5 is when you make yourself better, the world around you gets better. And that's all about like the kind of ripple effect, is if you're trying to improve yourself, people see that and find it inspiring, and also that kind of effect has like a butterfly effect, and it also makes other people feel inspired. And in the book, it implies that we're all alchemists. And I'll just read the quote. So that's what alchemists do. They show that when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us gets better too. So that's why I really think the title, The Alchemist, is really great, because I think it just shows that all of us have the potential to transform our lives into something better and more special if we want to. So yeah, that's my sort of review and thoughts of the book. Like I said, everyone's probably got loads of different lessons that they took. There's so much on like practicing gratitude, on making decisions and how that has an effect on things. Also about like living in the present. There's just so much that you can get from this tiny little book, and it is about 150 pages, 155. So it's short. It's a great book to pass on to people. Mine's all annotated. I've just taken so much from it. It's quite spiritual, which might not be everyone's cup of tea. There's quite a lot of references to God, following your dreams, following your heart. So some people might want like a little bit more than that. Lots of references to the universe. So it might not be everyone's cup of tea. But I just think for a small book, it packs a punch. And if you are someone who's not really read like non-fiction, this is kind of like, it's like a nice sort of story fable. So it's not like a heavy non-fiction book, but it has a lot of those kind of lessons that you would read from a non-fiction book. And finally, I think after you read this book, it kind of just really makes you kind of question where you're at. Are you content? Is there something else you want to achieve? Is this where you want to be? And if so, then great, then your heart's probably quite happy. And if not, then maybe there's like a little niggle, like a little itch that you've wanted to scratch, that you've wanted to pursue, but you've just been a bit scared. And I think reading this book might just kind of waken up that desire in you that you want to pursue that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what lessons you took from it in the comments below, because there's so many here. I just kind of scratched the surface. And yeah, let me know if there's anything like this that you think I'd like. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.